Hello friends, in this video we are going to discuss about the hardened concrete and its strength. Strength of the concrete is commonly considered its most valuable property, although in many practical cases other characteristics such as durability and permeability may in fact be more important. Strength usually gives an overall picture of a quality of the concrete because strength is directly related to the structure of hydrated cement base. Strength of the concrete could be defined as the ultimate load that causes failure, and its unit is given as Newton per mm square. Characteristic strength are compressive strength, tensile strength and flexural strength. Along with this, we are also study modulus of elasticity, creep and shrinkage of the concrete. Next point is fracture and failure. Concrete specimen is subjected to any state of stress can support load of up to 40 to 60% of ultimate without any apparent sign of distress. Here ultimate load means maximum load which a concrete specimen can be going to take before the failure of the concrete specimen. So this point is saying that concrete specimen is subjected to any state of stress can support the load of up to 40 to 60% of ultimate strength without showing any apparent sign of distress. Means it will not show any cracks or any distress significance or bending characteristic of the concrete. It will not show anything such that up to the 40 to 60% of loading. Okay. Below this level, any sustained load results in creep strain which is proportional to applied stress and can be defined in terms of specific creep. Here it point says that below this level any sustained load which are available, internal load which results in the creep strain which are proportional to the applied stress. Applied stress means externally applied load. As the load is increased above this level, soft but distinct noise of internal dispute can be heard at about 70 to 90% of ultimate strength. Small fissures or cracks appear on the surface. So this point what it is explaining here, above the 40 to 60% of load if I apply on any of the concrete specimen, what will happen? It will show you the small cracks or small internal dispute can be started, and you can hear sometime a small fracture sound. Okay, and at the ultimate load and beyond, a specimen is increasingly disrupted and eventually fractured into a large number of separate pieces. Here if I apply the ultimate load, that is maximum load and beyond, what will happen? Specimen will be break down into number of pieces as shown in the drawings here, as shown in the pictures here. You can find here a load which is applied more than the ultimate load. Here what will happen? This specimen is break down. Here also you can see the cylinder specimen is break down completely because of the application of load is more than the ultimate load of the concrete specimen. Generally, here this picture shows us the stages of cracking. Here generally we have the three stages of cracking. In this first stage it is stable crack initiation. Second stage is stable crack propagation, and this third stage is unstable crack propagation. As we discuss here, when we describe the cracking mechanism, it is important to differentiate between the mode of crack initiation and how it is occurred at the microscopic level, and the subsequent path of the propagation and eventual macroscopic cracks pattern are to be seen at the engineering levels. We will discuss the following stages one by one. At the stage 1, that is stable crack initiation, even before the loading, instinct volume of changes in the concrete due to the shrinkage or thermal movement can cause the strain concentration at the aggregate paste interface. Within this stage, localized cracks are initiated at the microscopic level at isolated point throughout the specimen, where the tensile strain concentration is the largest. This shows that these cracks are stable and at this load stage do not propagate. In second stage, that is stable crack propagation, as the applied load is increased beyond the stage 1, initially stable cracks begins to propagate. That is, whatever the cracks which are generated in the first stage, it will be start increasingly and cracks will start developing, progressing, and there will not be a clear distinction between the stage 1 and stage 2, since a stable crack initiation is likely to overlap the crack propagation and there will be gradual transition from one stage to another stage. This shown in this figure. Okay. During the stage 2, the crack system multiplies and propagates, but not in a slow stable manner, in the sense that if load is stopped and the stress levels remain constant and propagation cases. In stage 3, that is unstable crack propagation, this occurs when under load the crack system have developed to such a stage that it becomes unstable and release of strain energy is sufficient to make the crack self-propagate until the complete disruption and failure occurs. Here what will happen, if we stop the loading of the loading on the concrete member, also what will happen, crack will propagate and break the structure itself. Okay, that is what our unstable crack propagation will be saying. That is the third stage of the concrete cracking stage. Next, we will study about the types of concrete strength. First is compressive strength, second is tensile strength, third is shear strength, fourth is bond strength, fifth is impact strength, and last is fatigue strength. We will see one by one in detail. In compressive strength, as we know that strength of the concrete is defined as the strength of 28 days old specimen tested under the monolithic uniaxial compression load. Here what will happen, in generally we consider the compressive strength of the any concrete or the any concrete member, we will take 28 days old specimen, because as this case study says that at 28 days after the casting of the concrete and it is cured for the 28 days, then it will achieve up to the 99% of its maximum load. That's why we will consider this compressive strength as for calculating the compressive strength. We will go for the 28 days old specimen itself for the maximum load, or we can say the ultimate compressive strength of the concrete. Okay. For testing of this compressive strength, we may use cylindrical sample or cube sample. Okay. Cylindrical specimen having the standard dimensions of 15 cm diameter and 38 cm in height. It is the standard specimen size. And if we are using the cube specimens, it will be of 15 cm by 15 cm by 15 cm cube are to be used for the calculation of the compressive strength. Normally, the compressive strength of the concrete is determined by testing, and the tensile strength and modulus of elasticity are expressed in terms of our compressive strength itself. Here in this picture, we can see the compressive loading which is applied both in the cylindrical specimen and in the cubical specimen. Here what will happen? Uniaxial force which is applied on the both top and bottom of the cylinder, and as well as in the cube specimen. Here we are applying the uniaxial force at the bottom and at the top. Okay, and by doing this, what we do? We will load up to until it fills the specimen, and we will note down the maximum load which before the concrete has to be filled, which is noted, and that load we consider as the ultimate load of that concrete. Okay, and we have the formula for comparing of the cylindrical force is cylindrical strength, compressive strength of the cylinder is equal to 0.85 minus 0.8 times the compressive strength of the cube. Okay, and in this graph it is showing that it is the variation of the relative strength with respect to the height to diameter ratio. As I am increasing the height to diameter ratio, what will happen? I am increasing the slenderness of the concrete. Since concrete slenderness, if I increase, what will happen? Strength carrying capacity or the load carrying capacity of the concrete member will be reduces as it is increasing the ratio of the height to diameter ratio. Okay. See here. This is how we will test in the compression testing machine our cube or cylinder. Generally, in some of the countries, they are considered the cylindrical strength. Cylindrical strength is the final strength, cube concrete strength. In some of the countries, they are considering the cube strength, that is cube specimen compressive strength as the for the ultimate strength of the concrete, depending upon their different countries' standards. In India, we will consider the cube strength for the calculation of the compressive strength of the concrete. In next is tensile strength of the concrete. Tensile strength of the concrete is much lower than the compressive strength, largely because the ease with which cracks can propagate under the tensile load. The tensile strength of the concrete is measured in three ways: direct tension, splitting tension, and flexural tension. In this drawing, we will find all the three types of tension. If I am in the tensile direct tension, what will happen? A uniaxial load which will be applied along the CG of the concrete specimen, and it is pulled on the both sides. That we consider as the direct tension. In modulus of rupture or flexural tension, what we will do? We will consider the member rectangular member, and we will apply the point load. It is rested on the 2 points, and one on the top we are applying the load. Okay, in split tensile, what here we are considering the cylindrical specimen, and we are applying the load along the lengthwise on the both sides. So this is how we will calculate the tensile strength of the concrete. And it is difficult to test the concrete in direct tension because the problem of gripping the specimen satisfactorily, and because there must be no eccentricity of the to be applied load. Therefore, direct tensile test is not standardized and rarely used. Modulus of rupture test and splitting tests are commonly used to determine the tensile strength of the concrete. So, in the direct tensile strength, here, as we have said that on the both sides we are applying the load and the concrete members are pulling, and it is ultimate load will be noted, and this test is not practically applicable. And in split cylinder test, what we will do, we will consider the standard cylinder member, that is 15 cm by 30 cm, 15 cm diameter and 30 cm length cylinder, and it is kept along the lengthwise in the compression testing machine, and a load is applied uniformly throughout the length of the concrete, along the length of the specimen, and load will be applied until it break this specimen, so that ultimate load will be calculated, and it also can be calculated as FCT can be calculated as 2P by pi LD. P is the maximum load at which our specimen is split or a specimen has breakdown. So that load we will be considered here. This is how you can see in this we can see the specimen which is placed in the testing machine, universal testing machine, over which horizontal member which is placed, and about on this member is placed because for the application of the load, UDL, uniformly distributed load, will be applied along the length of the member and over at the top where it is pressing from the top side, and after this load breaking we can find such types of split members will be find in the machine. So next is modulus of rupture. So here in this modulus of rupture we will generally take the beam member, that is rectangular beam member, and in this member we can use 4-point bending method or 3-point bending method. 4-point bending method, we generally divide the space between the loading and the support will be L by 3, and in 3-point bending method it will be divided into L by 2 by L by 2, and using this formula FCT is equal to 6m by b into h square. So using this, here m is the moment which will be considered, bending moment which is applied at the end. Using this formula we will calculate the modulus of rupture of the concrete specimen. So next we will see the relationship between the compressive and tensile strength of the concrete. Tensile strength of the concrete is proportional to the square root of compressive strength. As per the analysis and as per the experiment, it is noted that tensile strength of the concrete in generally it will be considered as it will directly proportional to the square root of compressive strength. The proportionality constant, it may be depending upon the many factors such as concrete strength and the test methods which we are using to determine the tensile strength of the concrete. The following thumb rules can be used for calculating the tensile strength of the concrete. In the first one, for direct tensile strength, FCT is equal to 0.35 times square root of FC, where FC is the compressive strength of concrete, cube compressive strength of the concrete. Split tensile strength, FCTS, is equal to 0.5 times the square root of FC, and flexural tensile strength is equal to FCT is equal to 0.64 times the square root of FC. All this FC, it will be in terms of Newton per mm square or in MPa. Here, next is shear strength of the concrete. Shear strength of the concrete is generally taken approximately to the 20% of its compressive strength. As per the studies, it is noted that our shear strength of the concrete is generally equal to 20% of its compressive strength, that is cube compressive strength. And next is bond strength. It is the strength of the bond between the steel reinforcement and the concrete is called as bond strength of the concrete. It is very important when we are considering the reinforced concrete members, because our concrete has to be properly bonded with the reinforcement to get the proper loading and to ensure the to get the homogeneous member. Okay, so for that purpose, bond strength is very important. Bond strength develops primarily due to the friction and adhesion between the steel reinforcement and the concrete. In generally, bond strength is approximately proportional to compressive strength of the concrete up to about 20 MPa. Here in this diagram, we will find some of the cracks which are developed in the shear reinforcement. Generally, when loading is applied on the concrete member, at the support we will find the shear cracks at the support, and it will be prolongated diagonally from bottom to the top surface, or we can also say that from tension side of the concrete, and it will be prolongated to the compressive zone of the concrete. You can find maximum number of shear crack will be appeared at the near the supports. Okay, this is how we will differentiate the cracks at the shear strength. Okay, here in this picture it will be showing the bond strength, bonding between this will be our steel reinforcement, and this is the concrete specimen after the hardened stage. Okay, whatever the grip it is there, or there is a bond between this flexural friction bond, this we call as bond strength of the concrete. Okay, next is impact strength of the concrete. Impact strength of the concrete is important in driving the concrete piles or in the foundation for the machines exerting the impulsive loads, and also when accidental impacts is possible. So impact load, as we know, we have seen the impact testing for the aggregates, right? So same impact strength is also important for the concrete, and it is directly proportional to depending upon the impact strength of the aggregate also. Okay, and it is important where we are driving the pile foundation, or making the foundation for the machines which is going to continuous impulsive load or vibrating load, and also in some of the cases accidents which are going to be prolonged happen, at that time also we require the impact test. Impact test is what? It is a sudden force which is applied on the concrete. Okay. Example is we generally see the in precast concrete members, we will find the impact load generally when handling the precast members. Okay. And also there is no unique relationship between the impact test to the other state of strength in the concrete. However, in some research we have found that impact test is related to the compressive strength, and it has been suggested that the impact strength varies from 0.5 to 0.75 times of the compressive strength or cube compressive strength. Next is fatigue strength. It is the strength of the concrete against the cyclic or repeated loading is called as fatigue strength. This type of loading, it will be carried until the concrete going to be along its lifespan of the concrete member. A repeated loading, removal of the loading, and again we are applying the load, that we consider as the repeated loading or the cyclic loading. Okay. These are the different strengths which we have discussed in, which are going to be present, which are present in the concrete, and which are the important parts of the hardened concrete. Okay. Thank you.